Hey, go on. You're not on air. Welcome to the Deakin University match of the round at Walker Park. It is Mitcham taking on Coldstream in Division 3, third versus fifth. Both sides on the same amount of wins coming into this game, and a big opportunity for both sides to make their way into the top four and to take a step closer to the finals. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Paul Uconi, and straight off the bat, Brad Frost, the Mitcham senior women's coach. Great to have you on board. Big day again for the Tigers. Such a tight division, and every game means something in the run home.
Yeah, it is very close. I think we've got, besides North Ringwood and South Croydon, I think there's four sides even on points. Yeah. So the last four games, there's a lot riding on it. So today's the start of a mini final series for us. Absolutely.
I've just been told just then that you've, I think you're up to 40 players that have actually played a senior game this year, which is a challenge, but also exciting to be able to get those new players in and really get a feel of the senior footy.
Yeah, we've had our challenges. I think we've had 6 go overseas this year, and we ended up playing one game with only 12 on the park. So, yeah, numbers-wise, it's been a bit of a struggle, but we're getting them all back now. So, we've had a look at some young girls come through and everything else. So it's been really good.
Of course, the women's competition as a whole have had the last 2 weeks off. Has that been, how have you found that as obviously coaching the side? Has that been a positive to be able to maybe get some players back, have a bit of a rest for some? Obviously, I think the game against Vermont, you had 12 or 13 by the end of the game. Has it been something that you think is going to help you going into the final stretch of the season before finals?
Yeah, it's been a big help for us, just injury-wise and numbers-wise. I think we got 3 back from overseas, and a lot of our players were beaten up, only playing 3 games with 16, no rotations, no interchange, no anything. So 2 weeks off has hopefully served them really well.
So Megan Rinquist is playing her 100th game today. What does she mean to this football club?
Yeah, Meg's coming across from Park Orchards has really helped us, and just her footy IQ and just her nous around the ball, and her physicality has been really good to help a lot of the younger players coming through, and her leadership's very valuable to us.
How have you found the division? As you mentioned just before, there's 4 sides that are either on the same points or a game behind in a really tight final race to those last couple of spots in the 4. How have you found it? Has that been, I think you've had a pretty good record against most teams. In fact, it was Vermont Gold that you've lost to twice with lower numbers the last time you played them. But other than that, you seem to have matched up really well against those sides who are on similar points to you guys.
Yeah, no, done very well. As I say, we lost to Vermont twice and we dropped one to Churnside. But we beat South Croydon, so it's been up and down. But when we play our best footy matches it, even against North Ringwood, we had patches there where I believe we outplayed them and everything else, but we just couldn't sustain it for long enough.
And just finally, your last time you played Coldstream, it was a really impressive win. I don't think they scored in that game. What went well that day that you're potentially trying to, it might be a fair while ago now, but what sort of things did you take anything away from that game?
Well, it was a long time ago because actually I wasn't at that game.
There you go.
I was away for work, but on the run back of it and everything else, it was a great team effort. Everything just clicked that day, which again, when we play our best footy, that's what can happen. But we know we're in for a tough contest today because, kept them scoreless. They're going to come out breathing fire and want a bit of revenge. So we've got to be on our game early, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. The start's going to be super important. Obviously, congratulations to the season so far. All the best today. Hopefully, for your sake, another win and a step closer to locking in a final spot.
Thanks very much.
Big thank you there.
Cheers.
Brad Frost, the Mitcham senior women's coach, has done a great job stepping into the role and has put the Tigers in a very good position going into what may be a final series at the moment. They sit third, and probably the big thing for them is their percentage is so strong coming into the back end of the season, which is certainly going to help, Paul. But we're going to jump into one coach to another, and the Coldstream senior coach. Bob, thanks for joining us this morning. Great to have you on board. The second time we've seen Coldstream this season. How's everything been?
Not too bad. Yeah, we're gradually improving. Our destiny's in our own hands now, where we sit and where Mitcham are and Furniture Gully. So girls are looking forward to today. We probably played our worst game for the year against Mitcham last time, so we've got a bit to come back with.
What did you guys take out of that last game against Mitcham, and what are you looking to work on today?
Well, to be honest, we're trying to forget about that last game against Mitcham because it was terrible. Each week, our tackle pressure is, and our competitiveness around the contest is what we sort of base our game on. So this ground size probably suits us a little bit better than what Coldstream does. It's a little bit bigger, so looking forward to that. But the girls, the girls are looking to make a bit of amends, and as I said, destiny's in our own hands. So we win today. It gets us closer to scoring a spot in the top four.
It has been, when we were talking to Brad about this just before, how tight the division is. Incredible. Obviously, both North Ringwood and South Croydon have probably locked up their spots, but from third to sixth, it's wide open. And Vermont and Berwick have been competitive against those four. So it must be a good division to be in.
It is. It's good. Like, each week the games are really competitive across the board, and which is what you want. You don't want blowouts. So you don't want turning up and not that you want to know that you're going to get beat by 10, 20 goals. But, each week, and we've had good games against South Croydon and North Ringwood as well, and they are good teams, but they were competitive games. They weren't just all one-sided. So, and we sort of pride ourselves on that. So the division's probably even within the women's competition at the moment, which is really, really good and positive. So that the teams are all probably in the right division at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly has been. And I think for obviously coming into this game, it's 2 weeks off with the senior women's competition having a bit of a break in the middle of the year. Has that been a positive thing? Has it been a bit more challenging? You lose a bit of momentum. I think you've won 2 out of your last 3 coming into that. How do you sort of take the bye, and did you change anything up in those 2 weeks?
I went to the Gold Coast for a weekend, so that wasn't too bad. Some warm weather was nice, but no, I would have preferred to have kept going. Because we had a really good game against Vermont at home 2 weeks ago, so to have kept that going. But we've continued training. We haven't had a night off. We've trained. We've got the girls. We've got really good numbers on the training track every week, so that's been a positive. We've done some different things with training, like we had a bit of a dress-up theme on Thursday night, it was Bob. They had to come dressed as their favourite Bob. So we tried to keep it fun, tried to keep it upbeat. We did cop a little bit from the rest of the club saying we're on long service leave, having the 2 weeks off. But that sort of thing just helps create a great atmosphere within the club and within the team. So, looking forward to today. But, it would have been nice to keep going.
And finally, before we let you go, of course, for you coming into the role this year, how much have you enjoyed it at Coldstream? What is it about Coldstream that you've enjoyed this season with the girls and the club in general?
It's a bit old school with the way that the club's run, and it's the club. I come from a different environment in the Outer East, but the club is very, very focused on the women's program. We train with the men on Thursday night, so we've been doing that. Like, we do a warm-up, then we'll go off and do our own thing. So, Peter, the president, Sam, the committee's been marvellous. Jono, the senior coach, they've been amazing and welcoming. So, I've loved every minute of it. And, look, we've had a huge turnover of players this year from what they've had the last couple of years, which can happen when you sort of lose a couple of grand finals in a row and people decide to stop playing or try elsewhere. But this group is growing, and hopefully we'll maintain that and look to add to it, and that's next year in the pipeline. But we're still focused on making finals this year.
Absolutely, and a win today would certainly go a long way to getting there to the final series. So, Bob, all the best for today. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully for your sake, another win.
Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the call.
Absolutely.
And the game.
Done a fantastic job with the Coldstream Football Club this year in the senior women's program, and as we said, the ladder is so tight, Paul, so the winner of this game will be in the top 4 at the end of the round, and particularly, I guess, probably with the percentage gap that Mitcham have at the moment, if they win, you not officially lock them in, but it would probably be hard for them to slip out.
Yeah, it's such an exciting content. It's a high stakes game at this time of year. There's 4 rounds left to play, I believe. So it's as you said, it's a big game for both sides. Mitcham, with their percentage, they've got a real good percentage. But I'm looking forward to it because the last time they met, Coldstream have come a long way since they've played against Mitcham last. So I'm really looking forward to see what happens today.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. We've also got Kate Green, who'll be on the boundary today, who's just about to join us. Kate, great to have you back, and great to have the senior women's competition back after a couple of weeks hiatus.
I have desperately missed it.
Of course.
It's been very weird not being, getting up at like 6:30 in the morning and go, yep, here we go. And it's like, oh, there's no women's footy today. I'm particularly excited to have a look at Mitcham because this is our first look at Mitcham this season. Yep. And Coldstream's looking pretty sweet. This is their second match of the round game. Yep. They look pretty good against a very dominant Churnside Park team back in 2000 and back in round 9 under shocking conditions. Yes. Rain, cold, everything was thrown at us. So Mitcham, I'm really keen to have a good look at them. They're missing Jess Grace, but you never underestimate the Mitcham.
No, and I think with the Tigers as well, and Grace has only played the 3 games this year and has dominated every single game, but they've been able to win when she isn't in the side. And as it was mentioned to me just before, they're up to 40 players who have played at least one senior game for the Tigers. Okay, that's a lot of players to come through, and it's a good sign of, I guess, getting newer players in and playing at the senior level. But it also is a challenge because obviously you're having a lot of injuries, you're having a lot of players go away. So it does provide a challenge for, obviously, Brad, but they've been able to do quite well.
Brad did mention when I spoke to him prior, just getting information, that rounds 8, 9 and 10 were a bit of a challenge because had quite a few players that were out off overseas. I did jokingly say, well, maybe, everyone playing footy should hand over their passports, but I don't think, that'd work. I feel that just looking at Mitcham's inclusion this week of quite a few of their under-18 players who have experienced so far this year in other games, I think that's really fantastic for Mitcham, and I'm really keen to have another good look at Coldstream because they've really come a long way since last season.
Yeah, they certainly have. As we've got the Tiger song coming on in the background as Mitcham enter the field for the first time this morning. They're sitting 3rd on the ladder, had a great season so far, and a win today with their percentage, as said, would really go a long way to making the final series. And going back to last year, they missed the finals, but they were very competitive in games and almost had a bit of a late charge. So this would be a giant step forward if this year they can make the finals, Paul, and certainly have a bit of an impact.
Yeah, as you said, I know you mentioned last week Mitcham a bit like the Brisbane Lions of the EFNL. They want to time their run later on in the season, and it's having missed the finals last year, they certainly want to get back in the finals this year. And at the moment, they're in a very good position.
They definitely are. As We await a Coldstream to come out on the field today. They will be wearing the Indigenous jumper, the NAIDOC round from last week. Of course, the senior women's competition didn't play, so they will be wearing that for NAIDOC round this weekend, which is very exciting to see. It's a great jumper. They had it last year as well. I think that was potentially, I could be wrong, but I think that was potentially organised by the Starks, who played last year for Coldstream, which is a fantastic jumper, and we're looking forward to seeing it in just a moment as Coldstream are about to come out on the ground. And, you know, we saw them a couple of weeks ago, and Kate was at that game against Chirnside Park. Probably hard to get a read on that game because of the weather was so poor that day, Kate. So this perfect day today. Obviously, it's a little bit damp on maybe on foot, but it looks set up for a much better day conditions-wise.
Absolutely, the conditions are far better, though I must admit the heavy dew from overnight is going to make things very slippery, and that Sharon get a little bit soggy. With the Chirnside Park Coldstream game in round 9, not to take anything away from Chirnside Park's win, Coldstream did have quite a few of their key players out and unavailable. So with you know, their full strength, almost full strength, because they're only missing 2 now, with number 17, Krista Blythe, a late exclusion this morning. I'm really looking forward to seeing them at the strength that they are today going onto the field. Yeah,
absolutely. Going to be exciting to see how they match up against the Tigers. And Paul, as we mentioned before, it was 31 points last time they played out of Coldstream Reserve, and speaking to Bob just before, he said it was probably their worst performance of the season, and they'll be very keen to overturn that, but they didn't score on that day on the big ground at Coldstream Reserve. Potentially their away games at a place like Walker Reserve might be a bit more suited to their game, or Walker Park, should I say, sorry.
Yeah, no, and Bob did mention that they like the smaller grounds better than the bigger grounds they play at Coldstream. But yeah, no, I'm really intrigued to see how they come out after that last game. Of course, they've won a few games since then, so, and they're sitting at 5-5. So, you know, both teams sitting at 5-5. It's going to be a really intriguing, high-stakes clash.
Yeah, it certainly will be, as both sides now out onto the field. Coldstream, as we said, that wearing their Indigenous jumpers, the NAIDOC round last week, which looks fantastic out here at Walker Park today in the dark blue.
Ryan, we just have a slight situation in the centre square. We have a code brown for a quick clean-up.
Oh, there you go.
Matt Fortier would like that. There is a dog on the ground.
Wearing the Mitcham scarf as well out there in the middle, the umpire escort today.
Well, I think he's part of the escort team.
He is. He's got the vest on. So exciting game, obviously, to come. The captain's about to make their way out into the middle to toss the coin this morning.
Vice captain, the captain for today's game for Mitcham is Riley Holloway, number 4. Vice captains for today are number 9, O'Dwyer, and number 24, Frost.
Thanks, Kate. And the captain of the Coldstream side, Hannah Chappell, out there in the middle of the ground, about to toss the coin to work out who's going which way. Tips for this game. We've got, obviously, a very important one here, Paul. Your thoughts on today? Who have your tips going into this one with both sides on level on points?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be. I think it's going to be a quite closer game than last time. I've gone Mitcham by about 9 points. I think, you know, here at home, yeah, it'll really go down the wire. Hopefully, this one.
And the Tigers have won the coin toss, and they'll be kicking to your right side of your screen.
To Whitehorse Road.
Whitehorse Road today in this first term. So we'll see if they get off to a good start in this match of the round. I'm going to back you in. I'm tipping the Tigers. I think they might win. I've got them winning by 20 points. So just have a feeling they do have some outs, having a quick look through, but really impressed with Mitcham so far. Big opportunity here for Coldstream as well. Kate, your tip in today's game?
Well, I'm down in the record as Mitcham, and on a side note in Premier, I backed South Belgrave, not Park Orchards, mate.
Blame Josh for that. Josh is doing the record at the moment.
Okay, Josh, you're in deep water, mate. No, but Mitcham, I think with the new coach, Bob Fletter for Coldstream, I feel that they've got potential, but Mitcham's experience, Mitcham's cohesiveness, and Mitcham's ability to have that many players that are all key at any point in the game. I feel that it will be a Mitcham win for today, but that's not taking anything away from Coldstream and how determined and tenacious they are, particularly in their back line being led by Nicole Akers, who today is playing her 290th game overall.
And also played at Mitcham as well, Akers, back in
2024.
Yeah, played in the grand final in 2023 for the Tigers. Such an important player, and has come to Coldstream, has made a big impact. So we're all set to go here in just a moment. Of course, we'll keep you updated with all those scores around the grounds. Plenty of footy this morning in the senior women's competition, as most games are about to get underway out here.
A quick shout out to Megan Ringquist, number 3 for Mitcham, playing her 100th game overall today.
100 games for Ringquest, which we did speak to Brad about as well,
Yes.
and the impact she's had at the club, as we're all set to go for the first bounce out here at Walker Park. 3rd v 5th in Division 3, big game with the final spot potentially on the line as we get to the final 4 rounds of the season. Out of the middle, Coldstream, the first to pick it up through Bailey Eastham, wrapped up in the tackle. We'll get secondary ball up right in the middle here of Walker Park. Great conditions out here this morning. Tap down once again, won by the Cougars. Just getting a kick away in time. Tigers looking to gain some territory. Pressure's good here from Coldstream. That time from Holly Duke. One down by Legaway Allen. But standing underneath this, the Tigers take the intercept mark at the half-back line. And they're off and racing already, looking to make the most out of that one was Frost. Her kick intercepted there by Akers. Knows this ground well. And that's a very good kick. Finds a target in the corridor. And they'll push forward once again, Coldstream, as they go towards the centre half forward. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball comes back out. Keeping it in front of herself. Almost soccering off the ground. Just missed it there. That was Sophie Craig. And we're going to get a ball up now right in front of us.
Yeah, good early start here by Coldstream getting in there. Forward half as both rucks go at it as the Cougars look to win the clearance. That's a good tackle. Umpire lets it go. Yeah, as both sides going here at the contest. That's a good tackle laid as Coldstream look to win the ball back through Herman. Kicked high up in the air. Mitcham look to clear it out. High, long kick, and that's a good intercept mark taken by Lake. As Lake looks to go through the corridor here. Down the line here for Coldstream. One-on-one contest as Mitcham look to go forward. Even contest here as it'll be a stoppage.
Early on, Coldstream is showing a lot of control with the ball and just with their considered kicking towards marks that actually get taken.
As Coldstream look to win the clearance, good tackle laid there by Pontefract, and it'll be a ball up just in the side the Mitcham forward half here as handballed there by Underwood as a clearance one here by Coldstream. Couldn't take the mark there. Here's Griffiths. Griffiths is tackled. Umpire lets it go. Coldstream look to go into their forward 50. It's a good mark taken there. Now inside 50 here for the Cougars. Here's an opportunity and a mark wasn't taken. Now Coldstream for the first goal of the game as it goes across the face, and it will be a free kick here for Mitcham, a lasso, to be taken here by Clifford. Down the line here, Mark was nearly taken there as over the ball there was Easton, and that will be a ball up, Ryan.
Yeah, right, and Coldstream's attacking half of the ground. Done most of the attacking so far in the opening 4 minutes of this game. Good pressure again by the Cougars. That was Herman that time,
Good tackle.
who we know is an important player in this lineup as the leading goal scorer for Coldstream.
10 goals so far this year.
Yep, this is Lagway Allen's tap down. Ball going nowhere. Bit of push and shove as we'll do it all again. Another ball up. Lagway Allen again to the advantage of a teammate. Off the boot of the ball there was Graham. Dangerous spot here in the ground for this Tigers defence, whose pressure's been good so far as they hold it up here in their back half. Of course, Coldstream did not score against Mitcham the last time they played, so if they can get a score on the board early in the opening 5 minutes, they'll be very, very happy with that.
The early stages of this first quarter, it's a very different Coldstream side to what I saw in round 9. So I'm pleased with that for Coldstream moving forward. Mitcham, again, always strong in their defence and tacking.
No decision paid there off the right boot that time from Hamilton. Picked up again here by the Cougars. It's a high kick. This will be paid if there can be a mark taken. Ball bounces out the back. Chappell's there if she can get there. Off the ground. And it's across the boundary line, so Mitcham will take possession once again. So still no score just yet, but Coldstream doing all the hard work at the moment.
So Clifford kicks it up in the air, played with Blackburn in the under-18s last year. Ball up on the arc, on the 45 out here at Mitcham. Here at Walker Park as Coldstream look to go forward here, handballed over to Underwood. A scramble of players fighting for it. As Mitcham has a ground ball here, as here's Underwood who's tackled. Umpire lets it go. Easton. Now Mitcham looks to clear out. And here go the Tigers. Long, high up in the air as Coldstream have numbers back. Umpire lets it go. Here's Aiken. Aiken goes on a run. Coldstream look to repel. And we will get a ball up forward of centre for the Tigers as no score in the first 6.25 minutes in this first term. Intriguing contest so far early. Both sides 5 and 5. Fighting to get in that top 4. Mitcham look to win the clearance. Just outside the 45, bounces into the 45. That's going to be on the ball for Coldstream as they look to go down the line here. Good mark taken there by Underwood. She's been great so far for the Cougars as she looks to go inside forward 45, and that's a great intercept mark there taken by Griffiths. As Griffiths looks to go corridor. 2 on 2 there. Coldstream look to go back, but it falls away as Mitcham look to go inside 50. Here's an opportunity for Wallington, who's tackled, and that's a great tackle. And it's holding the ball by Coldstream as it through the corridor here. Now is Coldstream look to repel. Now is Aiken again. Inside the 45 here. Cougars repel. And now going after it is Caldwell. Now Caldwell, Soccer's off the ground here. And Socket again. Now Coldstream look to go forward. They have got numbers inside 50. Bounces past here. Good contest. Now handballs open up for Elliott. Elliott for the first goal has kicked the behind. So the first score on the board for Coldstream. They lead 1 behind. to Mitcham yet to score 8 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, so first score on the board. Well done there by Chappell, just using her body well in that contest and got the handball away in time. But just a minor score as the Tigers bring this one back into play. It'll be Griffiths again, who'll kick towards the half-back line. No mark taken, came off hands. Under a lot of pressure early is this Tiger defence, but been able to hold up okay. As we get into almost the 9th minute mark of this first term. Almost went the soccer off the ground, couldn't quite connect as Eastham's wrapped up once again in the tackle, and we'll get a stoppage here. Right on the forward 50 arc for the Cougars. Ball comes back out. The handball from Underwood. Mentioned before being lively in this first term. She finds it again. Just handballs into a bit of space. Got a teammate coming past. Socket off the ground. Doing well using her body then was Hamilton. She's wrapped up by Pontefract, one of the key players in the Mitcham lineup today. We'll get a ball up on that far side of the ground. 9.5 minutes gone first term. Thanks for joining us on EFNL Facebook and YouTube. Big Division 3 clash as the ball comes back out to Deakin. Off the left boot. Bounce eluded the Coldstream defender at first. As they look now to gain possession through Akers. Couldn't quite pick it up on first attempt. Now got multiple players to compete with. And we'll get a ball up. So the Tigers just starting to ease their way into this game. Because they won the toss today and decide to go to this end of the ground. High kick, it's a one-on-one. Who's going to get there first? The bounce towards the pocket. It's now a 2-on-1 in favour of the Tigers. Ball comes back out. Almost an opportunity. Coldstream just looking to rush this through. Picked up that time by Fletcher, but off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. So Coldstream to take possession here in their back pocket.
Good crowd in here today so far. Ryan,
Big day, of course.
yeah, of course.
All sides playing.
Later, yes, and of course later on as well. Big clash in Div 1 between Mitcham and Park Orchards as Coldstream look to clear it out of the defensive 50. Under pressure here as Coldstream look to clear it out. Now here's Herman. Good tackle laid there by Gale. And we will have a stoppage as we're heading in the 11-minute mark of the first quarter.
Just in this last 11 minutes, both teams are fairly evenly matched with their defence and their offence. It's a quite enjoyable game at the moment.
Certainly is, as Mitcham will win the clearance to the top of the square. Spoiled away there by Coldstream as there's numbers around it here for the Tigers. And it'll be a stoppage. Both rucks go at it. Coldstream win the hit out. Mitcham have the numbers. 2-on-1 in favour of the Tigers here. As good work there by Curtis as Coldstream look to clear it out. Handballing it out there as Coldstream look to go forward. And now they look to get it out. Tackled there. And another stoppage. Both rucks go at it again. Linnett and Lagaway Allen. As handball there as Coldstream look to go forward, but Mitcham have the numbers back. Good tackle there to stop Mitcham there by Duke.
Mitcham Coldstream just have to be careful just with these ball ups because they're letting Mitcham control the ball up with having more players surrounding it to feed the ball out to.
As tackled there, good tackle there by Hamilton. So forward of centre here for the Cougars. Now as Mitcham look to win the clearance and a handball there by Griffiths. Good tackle there by Caldwell as Mitcham look to go forward, but Coldstream have the numbers back. Good shoulder there by Coldstream players. They look to get it out there, Mitcham, and go into their forward 45. Coldstream not paid the mark as Coldstream look to go forward. A good bit of play there. Coldstream have numbers inside 50. Here's an opportunity, bounces over the top, and it will be going at a play, and it'll be a stoppage. It'll be ball up.
Nice mark there by number 31 for Coldstream Rogers. They really needed that to get it back in their forward 50.
As both sides really going hard at it. Now is a good tackle laid by Curtis, and will be a ball up.
So still inside Coldstream's forward 50 at the moment. 14 minutes gone. No goals just yet. But still a big opportunity here for the Cougars. But the Tigers' defence have stood up strong as once again they repel from that back half. It's a 1-on-2 here. Ball comes out the back. Picked up nicely, that time by Akers. Had 2 Tigers to compete with though. So they get the quick handball out. Akers again chasing this one across the line. And once again we'll get another ball up right on the boundary, about 55 out from Coldstream's goals. Thanks for joining us on EFNL Facebook and YouTube this morning for today's clash. Tap down was won by the Tigers through Lynette as the ball comes forward. The pressure of Akers then, that time Orlando spilling it across the line.
Akers has been so dominant for Coldstream this first quarter.
So right in front of us, broadcast side. Ball up once again. It was a smart tap by Lagaway Allen over the head. Knew where her teammate was. Bit of a scrap here as ball not coming out. We'll get another ball up.
A little bit of tunnel ball there too.
So just the one behind so far if you've just joined us. Coldstream leading. That ball still struggling to get back out. A lot of players around this contest. Ball won by the Tigers here. Tap forward, that time from Jess Curtis.
Ryan, I'm actually very impressed by the physicality and the evenness of both teams' mids and forwards.
Well, Coldstream certainly brought the challenge here to the Tigers in this opening term.
It's real cat and mouse stuff this so far, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who, if once that first goal gets on the board, if that opens the game up a little for either side. Holloway out of the middle. Got her kick away in time. Still a bit of a scrap to get this one forward through the Cougars. Bouncing forward, picked up
Well
nicely. The handball there, that was well done by Rogers. Off to a teammate, she finds it again, does Rogers. Her kick to Lagaway Allen. Inside 50, 1-on-1. Getting a hand to it that time was Pontefract. Bartlett gets her hand off in time to Payne towards goal. It's not going to make it, and it is going to just roll through for a minor score. Second on the board.
Really well
Coldstream.
done there by Coldstream there to keep that one alive on the wing, and that led to, even though it didn't lead to a goal, it's really great work, gave an opportunity for a score.
They did get a bit of space there, which is what they needed. So 2 behinds, Coldstream, Mitcham, no score, Paul.
As Mitcham with the kick out, as umpire lets it go, Coldstream have the numbers back, and it races to the boundary for a ball up.
This is a very different Coldstream team to what I saw in round 9. They're strong, they're consistent. Maybe need to talk a little bit more,
Good tackle.
but they're completely different in intensity and attacking to what they were against Churnside.
Really great tackle there by Herman as it goes inside 50 here for the Cougars. Elliott looks to race towards it. Good tackle there, and we'll get a ball up in a good position here for Coldstream. Both rucks go at it. Hit out there by Mitcham and tackled, and it goes out of play for another ball up. Still looking for that first goal. We're in the 18-minute mark of the first quarter. If you've just joined us, Coldstream 2 behinds to Mitcham yet to score as Mitcham get there first. Holloway, as she's currently 15th in the goal kicking so far, as we'll do it all again. Both rucks go at it. Mitcham look to clear it out through Holloway. Good tackle there. Umpire lets it go, as that'll be a free kick to the Tigers. And it'll be Clifford. Down the line. And a mark nearly taken there by Aiken. Now as Coldstream look to lock it in and get the first goal here. Good chase there by Herman. Coldstream with numbers around it. That'll be another stoppage, Ryan.
Yeah, inside forward 50 for Coldstream. We've got less than a minute to play. They look like it's going to be the only side to score, but it was Aiken right out of the middle. I missed just how that happened. But now a chance of the Tigers. The mark is taken in the middle of the ground there by Gale. Gale towards centre half forward. Come off a Coldstream defender's hands. Her kick intercepted by Aiken. Bouncing inside 50. Just in front there was Gossip. The handball forward, though, for the Tigers. Off the right boot by Curry towards goal. Rolls through for a behind. Trying to keep that in just. Couldn't quite do it. It's a minor score to the Tigers. One behind. Well done by Aiken, Paul, to get a couple of clearances and at least give them a chance to score. I was about to say Coldstream are the only side who can score from here. But that will be quarter time.
Something out of nothing, wasn't
Absolutely, as Coldstream will go into the quarter time break, leading 2 to Mitcham 1 as we get the quarter time siren. And an important Division 3 clash, not much in it between the two sides. We're going to go to our first break here, and on the other side, we'll be back hearing from one of the coaches and the second term. Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round. We'll go straight down to the boundary because Kate Green is with the senior coach, Brad Frost.
Cheers, guys. Just getting myself ready. Brad, you had a lot to say in that quarter, and we better get off the field before we get fined. You talked about to the girls that positives coming out of that first quarter. Fantastic pressure, great run, great handballs, and particularly looking incredibly dangerous when you're heading down to your own forward pocket. You mentioned, well, actually I spied on your board, you mentioned that you felt that the girls were too loose in the transition. Would you like to add to that, or what the plan is to compensate for that?
We've just got to get our structures right. We were got sucked into the contest a little bit and just didn't keep our space where they kept their width from the contest, so they were able to transition quite easily. We've just got to get back to basic footy, player on player, and go from there.
You did finally mention to the girls that you needed them to play smart, that they need to keep to their game structure and their game plan and not let Coldstream get in their head.
Yeah, correct. We've just got to work, just play our style of footy and keep our ball moving forward, and we'll go from there.
Thanks very much, Brad. All the best for the rest of the game.
Thank you.
They had a quick clearance inside forward 50, but it's Chappell who's clearing this out for Coldstream. Running onto this now, Caldwell. Got Gosling to compete with and has given away the free kick, holding the ball. Going the way of Chloe Gosling, who's under 18 girls this year for the Tigers. Inside 50, came off hands. Aiken out the back. Been dangerous early off that left boot towards the top of the square. Was repelled here by Akers. That's a massive kick down the corridor. Might come straight back. He's streaming through. Zach Griffiths takes a bounce and wrapped up in the tackle, holding the ball. Gee, she looked electric going forward, but just ran into a brick wall, and a great tackle that time by Herman.
A little bit like watching Nick Blakey run through the
middle. Well, it was very, very quick, and we've seen her off the halfback all morning so far, who's certainly been one of the Tigers' stars this season. Ball comes back out to the far side, picked up nicely. That time by Pontifact, who comes inside. Aiken slipped through her hands. Finds it again. Up the left boot. One-on-one. Off hands. Plenty of Tigers around this contest if they can get there. Wellington did well to try and hold this one up. Again, Aiken towards goal. Standing in defence. Was able to take the mark. Sally Lake, the vice-captain for Coldstream. Her kick comes off the boot of a teammate and off to Holloway. Holloway to the 1-on-2 in favour of the Cougars.
I'd say so far that number 1 Aiken and number 34 Griffiths for Mitcham have really been pivotal in getting Mitcham consistent and attacking so well.
As the Tigers look to go for good tackle laid, it will be a ball up just outside. No, it's holding the ball. So here's Filial who kicks it here, and it's intercepted by Gale. As they look to go forward here, Holloway high up in the air, and a good mark, great mark taken by Aiken as she plays on, and she kicks a goal. First goal of the game goes to the Tigers through Sibel Aiken.
Massive reward for effort.
First goal of the game, and that is a perfect start to the quarter for the Tigers. 1-1-7 to 2 behinds, coming up to the 3rd minute mark of this second term. But that is the way they wanted to come out in this quarter. They got the quick centre clearance, they locked it in their forward half, and then through the likes of Aiken, who had a couple of chances and then actually finishes off there.
She's been very lively, hasn't she? Won a couple of clearances so far and gets reward for effort.
Yep, another one of their under 18 girls who's stood up for the Tigers this season. Tapped down one that time below the net. Ball comes back out. Now Ella Herman. Clearing kick. Chasing that one was Bailey Eastham. Stolen away from the Tigers. There's Griffiths again. Tell by the speed that she's got. Holloway involved. So is Akers for the Coldstream side. Ball comes back out in favour of the Tigers. Hannah Lynette inside forward 50. Looking to get another one on the board after the Tigers got their first just a moment ago. Hannah Chappell. Socket off the ground. coming off hands. We might get a ball up if this isn't played on. It is, however, and the Tigers. Lynette just dropped it with Lagaway Allen putting some pressure on. Deakin. She gets her hands off. And finally we'll get another ball up. About 55, 60 metres out from the Mitcham goals. Going to your left side of the screen in this second term. Over the top was Hannah Lynette with the tap down. Follows up her good work. Picked up cleanly. Finds a target. The mark was dropped, but still inside their forward half of the ground. We'll give them an opportunity. But the ball comes back out. Hamilton, her kicking towards the corridor. Important ball to be won there by Elliott. Tap forward by the Tigers. A lot of players around this contest now. And we're going to get a stoppage. Back in the middle of the ground, Paul.
Yes, very spirited contest so far here by both sides, who are looking to move to 6 and 5. A big game for top 4 aspirations for both sides, as Mitcham have the numbers back. Coldstream look to go forward. Good tackle there by the number 19 in Sarong for Mitcham, as both rucks quick to go at it again. Good tackle laid. We will do it all again. Near the centre circle. Mitcham look to go forward here through Deakin. She's tackled, holding the footy. And it'll be a free kick to Coldstream as they look to go forward and get their first major on the board. Now it's Herman. Inside the 50 here. Mark nearly taking good contest. Mitcham have the numbers back, and we will have a ball up in a dangerous spot here for the Cougars. Looking to get their first goal of the contest. Deakin looking to pick it up. Deakin again. Here's Deakin. Tackled. That's holding the ball. So here's an opportunity for Coldstream.
They
Here through
really,
Elliott.
they really need this, don't they, Paul? If not, I'm not quite sure when they'll get another opportunity with the way Mitcham's come out this quarter.
So here's Elliott. Smiled off the boot here, off the shin here, as Mitcham have the numbers. And we'll have another stoppage. As Mitcham have the numbers. Here's Holloway. Tackled there is Lagaway Allen. (1-1-7) Mitcham to Coldstream, 2 behinds as we're 7 minutes into the first quarter. Mitcham look to clear it out. Down the line for the Tigers. Numbers for Coldstream. Good tackle there to stop it there by Mitcham. Coldstream look to win the clearance. Inside 50 mark there was nearly taken. Mitcham have the numbers to repel. Now at the forward half here for Coldstream, but Mitcham clear it out here through Pontefract, who's been good for the Tigers so far. Now as Mitcham look to go forward, good tackle laid. We will have a ball up in the forward half, forward of centre here for Mitcham. And we'll do it all again, Ryan.
Yes, almost 8 minutes gone in this second term. 1-1-7 plays 2 behind. Thanks for joining us on FNL Facebook and YouTube today. Once again, it's Deakin out of the middle. That's a high kick. It's going to be a hard one to mark, but it's done quite well there by Gosling. The middle of the ground at Walker Park. Not a bad kick, but Akers is behind this one. Just slipped through her hands as well. Holloway gets her hands off in time. The kick towards goal. It's a one-on-one in front position. Doing well, kept it in front of herself. Got Lake to compete with, but pretty good effort there by Wallington. 20 out from the Mitcham goals. Tap down one by the Cougars. And we'll get another stoppage. inside the forward 50 here for the Tigers. They've got the only goal on the board so far. And that kick out of bounds on the full. So Coldstream will reset and take the kick in the back pocket on the far side out here at Walker Park. Great conditions out here as we get a bit of sun this morning. As a clearing kick, slipped through hands. Aiken is wrapped up in the tackle. Another ball up. Winner of this game will be inside the top 4 and one step closer towards a final spot this season. North Ringwood earlier this morning knocked off Ferntree Gully by 20 points. So Ferntree Gully will remain in 4th if Coldstream lose today. Of course, Churnside Park as well have an opportunity to get a win this morning, which would put them on equal points as at least 2 of these sides. Tap down one by Lynette, bouncing inside their forward half off the ground. And there'll be a free kick here to Holloway, who potentially might be in range. Be a tough angle from here. We'll certainly see if she puts it up towards the top of the square. If she goes home, she'll go for home and just misses to the right side. Not a bad attempt from Riley Holloway. A known goal kicker for the Tigers, but it does put them in front by 6 points. 1-2-8 Mitcham. Coldstream 2 behinds Paul with 10.5 minutes gone in this second term.
A kick in it as Coldstream with the kick out. Mark there was nearly taken in. Tigers have the numbers kicked off the ground and it'll be out in the full as right in front of Kate.
I'm not touching it. I do have to make an observation. Coldstream have actually come out somewhat flat compared to how they come out in that first quarter. I'm just hoping they get back that momentum that they did have in that first quarter because they'll really need it to keep in touch and potentially beat this Mitcham side, which at the moment are on fire.
Well, if they can get the next goal, Ryan, it will certainly give them some momentum as Mitcham win the clearance here, high up in the air. Mitcham, numbers in favour of Mitcham, good tackle there. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up just outside the 45, forward 45 here for Mitcham. We're 11.5 into this second quarter. Both rucks go at it as Mitcham and Coldstream both look to win the clearance. Mitcham will win it. Here's Holloway, high up in the air, one-on-one contest. Tackled there by Tejero. She's tackled Tejero. Now Holloway goes for goal. Is it going through? It is! Riley Holloway.
That's got to be the goal of the game so far.
Certainly is. As Mitcham get their second, great work there by the Tigers, and Riley Holloway, she gets her first and Mitcham second. Mitcham 2-2-14 to Coldstream 2 behind. We are 12 and 20 in this second term.
Yeah, good start to this second term for the Tigers. 2-2-14 to 2 behinds, and Holloway, known goal kicker for Mitcham, gets her first and just start to create a bit of a buffer here on the Cougars, who will want to respond quickly going into the half-time break after a really strong first term without putting any majors on the board. They'll get a chance now through Ella Herman. Bouncing inside 50. It's all numbers to the Tigers. Ringquest is first to it. She kicks to the far side, and now they're off again on the outer wing here. Mark taken about 60 out from goal. Lauren Gale. Gale inside 50. Out the back, Aiken tried to get hands to it against Lake. There she is again. Spinning around off the left boot once more. Finds a teammate. Going forward, Craig. And the intercept mark taken by the Cougars, who want to play this on straight away. Trying to get out of defence. It's turned over. And the mark is taken by Paige Frost, who can certainly kick a goal. She'll be right on her distance towards the top of the square. No mark taken. Came off hands. Aiken at ground level is wrapped up by Akers. And we'll get a ball up. About 15 out from the Mitcham goals. We've got a little over 6 minutes to play in this second term, and it's Mitcham 2-2-14 to 2 behind Coldstream. Another goal will make things really tough for the Cougars going into the second half. Akers with the tackle. Ball comes back out. Lucy Griffiths gets a bit of space, gets through the tackle. There's Lake to clear this one out now for the Cougars. No mark taken, almost claimed there by Sarong. We'll get a ball up, but still in Mitcham's attacking half.
If Coldstream can get one before half-time and keep Mitcham goalless, I think it'd do Coldstream a lot of good after the quarter that Mitcham have had so far.
Yeah, certainly, because all the momentum at the moment going the way of the Tigers, and they look the side more likely to put on another goal. There's Sarong again involved. Back inside their forward half. Tap forward by Gale. Picked it up this time. And we'll get, once again, another ball up back inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. Almost 15 minutes played in this second term, Paul.
Stoppage here in the forward 50 of Mitcham. Tackle there. And let's let go here. Mitcham fans calling for ball, and they get it. So here's an opportunity for Mitcham. Gets it, tries to get closer to goal, and a mark is taken by Holloway. As she takes the mark, and she will line up for her second, and it's 25. So she'll be closer to goal here.
Unfortunately, questioning the umpire on its decision when there was a deliberate push. This is what's caused it.
So here's Holloway. For a second, she gets it. Holloway second and Mitcham's third, and they're out to an 18-point lead. Mitcham 3-2-20 to Coldstream 2 behind. We've gone 15-45 in this second quarter, Ryan.
Yeah, back out to a 3-goal lead now for the Tigers. Dominant second term for Mitcham, and it was right from the first bounce of that second quarter with the quick centre clearance that got them started, and since then it has been all yellow and black as they get out to a commanding lead. And maybe it does feel a little bit like that last time these two sides played, where Mitcham certainly got on top on the scoreboard and were able to completely shut Coldstream out of the game. They need a response back in the middle, but again, it's all Tigers. Ball comes back out. Once again, it was Lynette involved. Now inside their forward half of the ground. Tried to soccer that one off the ground, did O'Dwyer. And we'll get another ball up just on the forward 50 arc here for Mitcham. Pushing forward for their fourth of the day. It was Lagaway Allen with the tap down. Holloway inside 50. Went past Akers. Again involved was Lake, who's fought hard in this quarter. O'Dwyer got her hands off in time. The ball comes back out here through Lake. Wrapped up again. Get another ball up. We're very close to the Mitcham goals. They're about 25, 30 metres out. And we've got just less than 3 minutes to play. They get another one. It'll be a 4-goal quarter and be very hard for Coldstream to bounce back. Lynette wrapped up in the tackle. Brought to ground. Holloway. Once again, the pressure's been all right from Coldstream just to hold things up here.
Ryan, I feel that Coldstream need to get back that momentum and focus that they had in that first quarter. They've actually come out flat.
Tackle.
Big tackle there applied, and that was, I think, that time by Ella Herman, who has been good for the Cougars, and she'll look to play on straight away. Finds a target. Goes with a handball to Akers, standing still off the right boot. All yellow and black jumpers behind this one, and the mark is taken that time by Griffiths.
So Griffiths in the defensive 45 for the Tigers, assessing her options. In the corridor here, numbers here for the Tigers. Can Coldstream get one before half-time? There'll be a ball up. We're 18 and 20 here in this second quarter. Mitcham 3-2-20 to Coldstream 2 behinds. It's a free kick to Mitcham. Through the corridor here for the Tigers. Good mark taken. Can they add another one before half time? She assesses her options. Goes inside Well, just outside here, and that's a great mark taken by Gale. As she'll launch it into the 45 for Mitcham. Mark there was nearly taken. Opportunity here, good tackle laid. Coldstream look to clear it out. Here's Herman, and that'll be a ball up.
Mitcham are definitely sticking to what Brad Frost told them at the first quarter, at the end of that first quarter, just to take their time. And kicking it, they need to go wide and they need to go long if that central corridor is congested.
Blood rule here as called by the umpire as we'll have a stoppage. Inside Mitcham's forward 50. Tackle there was Linnett. Not Linnett, sorry, Lake. Both rucks go at it. Mitcham win the clearance. Racing towards it is Gosling and Gossip. As they look to keep it alive here, Mitcham goes out of bounds. And there's your siren for half-time. A great quarter by the Tigers, kicking 3 goals to zip, and they lead it 3-2-20 Mitcham to Coldstream 2 behinds, Ryan.
Thanks, Paul. And we are going to just hold on the line for a little bit longer because we've got Davis Harrigan here as well. So, Paul, I might get you to pass headset to Davis here at half-time, and we'll hear from him who is currently out at the game here at Walker Park, taking the photos, of course. Mitcham and Coldstream, 2 sides you know very well. And we've got you on board because you've got a new book with you, and we've been lucky enough to speak to Toby Prime recently on the podcast about his new book that's about local AFL local grand finals. And one of the things is on the cover is your picture from the 2019 grand final between Mitcham and Ringwood. Davis, great to have you on.
Correct. It was almost fitting that I had chosen this game. I was kind of asked anyway. And then I went to the book launch on Monday. It was fantastic. Even saw some people that I knew from back in my AFL Victoria days, like Anthony Stangetts and stuff. So the book's in my hands here. I know we can't see it on the screen, but it is called Famous Flags at Great Local Grand Finals, written by Toby Prime. There are 14 local grand finals, including, as you said, Ryan, the very famous and very memorable 2019 Division 2 grand final, which Mitcham won after quite a lot of controversy on the line, literally. But I remember being stationed. It was East Burwood. It was not really a great day. It was miserable. It was 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was situated on the far pocket from the pavilion, and I was like, I knew I had to be looking at the kicker, which was Parker. I was like, if he gets this, they win. And then I saw Mitcham celebrating. I thought, I have to lock in on this. I got it. I was very lucky. And then Toby came to me, I think it was early this year or late last year, and said, hey, Davis, have you got any photos from the game? And thankfully, I still had plenty. So I sent them across and had no idea. I was like happy to contribute because, of course, those who don't know, Toby was the News Corp leader writer for the Eastern League before our former media manager here, Dan Sentic, took over in 2020, I think it was. And he reached out, so I was happy to contribute. And then he sent out the invite. He said, hey, your picture's on the front cover. I was like, okay. I was not expecting that. I was very happy to contribute a few things, but to see it on the front cover and knowing that it's a pretty famous picture was pretty cool. So that was great to have in my hand. So for those who can't see it at the moment, I will drop some information later, but the photo is of Mitcham celebrating their win after they found out that there was no score.
Photo from post-game, after the siren.
That photo will be from after the siren because, of course, Ringwood had every chance to win it. According to the goal umpire, the kick fell short and there was no score. So by essentially doing that, Mitcham won. And I remember I was reading it was a good 20 or 30 seconds before anyone actually knew what was happening. Yeah, Brett Rowe, the Ringwood coach, was like, same with Neil Winterton, the Mitcham coach here, but it was pretty cool to see that. The book comes out at the end of the month, and it's a fantastic little read. Apparently, there's some very infamous stories in there as well, not just from our league, but it wasn't so much vindication, but having done this since 2014, it was pretty cool to see that on the front cover. So
very good. It's one of the great grand finals, and great to have your action shots from the day featured on the front cover of this book. Now, we've got one out at the Evenell House at the moment in the foyer, but Also, that there is ability to get this. We'll probably try and put a link in somewhere where people can get involved, get the book. We spoke to Toby Prime on the podcast. It was fantastic to hear his insight, not just on that grand final, but across a series of grand finals. Very well respected.
It was fantastic to hear from the speakers as well, because they had Luke Beveridge, the Western Bulldogs coach. Great man, was very happy to speak to me for a couple of minutes. And I think it was Jeff Geesham as well. It was a very infamous 1990 grand final. Anthony Stangetz was there, a few others as well. So it was great to hear all these stories, find out who was there as well. But yeah, then when Toby sent it out, this was like back in May or something like that. That's how long this book's been going, for over 2 years, to bring everything together. He said, your picks on the front cover. I was half stoked and half surprised, because I wasn't expecting that. So there's no other pictures of mine in there, but that doesn't matter to me. To be able to showcase that and say, hey, this is mine, a photograph for this league, is pretty cool. Because at the moment, I don't really plan on going anywhere. So
no, it's a fantastic photo, and great to see that getting some recognition on the front cover of the book. Of course, we're about to go to a break, but you're here, been watching the game, and you're taking the photos. Your thoughts, Mitcham, very good in that second quarter?
Yeah, the game changed once Riley got a couple of goals. It's very, very dewy out there, and I think that showed in the first quarter. All the game players, Mitcham, the likes of Lucy Griffith, Sybil Aiken, Coldstream had the likes of Ella Herman, Katie Hamilton. They're all trying, but I think Coldstream's physical language fell flat a little bit, and Mitcham took advantage of that. They were trying to break through contests a lot more than Coldstream were. I think Coldstream were trying to look for a corridor up the ground, and Mitcham just kept shutting them down. And then Riley just is always in and around the ball. She just knows how to do it. She's played that many games. Once she got that first goal, and then the whole game's broken open. I think, look, still anyone's game, but someone's going to have to capitalise, especially because it is still slippery and it is still a bit soft out there. I think Mitcham can win it. I also think Coldstream can win it, but if Coldstream's going to do it, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to find a corridor. They're going to have to capitalise on every opportunity and get in front of the ball, which is where I think Mitcham's been a little bit better. They're a little bit more body in, head in. They're taking that risk and they're able to capitalise and get it out quicker.
Absolutely. A big thank you to Davis Harrigan. We're going to go to our last ad break. All the best for the rest of the game, and we look forward to hearing more from you across the season and seeing all those great photos each and every week out at the EFNL local footies. We're going to take a break here. The Tigers 3-2-20 leading Coldstream 2 behinds. Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round. Mitcham taking on Coldstream in Division 3, 3rd versus 5th coming into this clash. And currently here at half-time, the Tigers lead 3-2-20 to Coldstream at 2 behinds. And we're almost ready to go for this second half. Mitcham out on the field, still waiting for Coldstream to make their way out. Of course, there's plenty of results going along around the divisions here. And in this division in particular, we talked about North Ringwood. They got over the line over Ferntree Gully by 20 points this morning. So Ferntree Gully in 4th. They'll stay in 4th if Mitcham win today. If Coldstream win, Coldstream will come into the 4 and Ferntree Gully come out. So that is why this game is so important for the context of the season. And if Coldstream can respond, for the Tigers, their percentage is so strong that they can really, really make a big step forward here today with another win. Some of the other games going on around the divisions in Premier Division, we've got some big games later. We've got the 12:20 p.m. games between Baronia Vermont, Eastern Devils and Whitehorse, and then a 5 p.m. clash between South Belgrave and Park Orchards, which the winner of that game will move into 2nd position.
Grand final rematch from...
Yep, grand final rematch from last year. The Sharks getting across the line last year in a big one. That is a very important game later today. We'll see if we've got any other live scores. We've got in Division 1, East Ringwood leading the Basin 24-5. Mooroolbark leading Knox 26-9. Baldwin Surrey Park. Baldwin, the score isn't updated there, but Baldwin in front from my sources down there. Beaconsfield, Montrose 42 to the Eagles 9. Blackburn 40 to Park Orchards 1 in Division 2. As Coldstream start to make their way out onto the field for the first time in this second half.
Ryan, I do have a quick update from Mitcham's coach Brad Frost. He said the takeaway from that first half is that they turned in the pressure. They did the run to receive. Everything worked for them because they just got back in their head and decided to work to their own game and keep Coldstream out of their head. The message moving forward for this last half is just maintain the pressure and continue the momentum of what they did in second quarter. And I'm just off to interview, have a chat with Bob.
Third quarter underway. Anna Lynette with the tap down. Ball going nowhere back in the middle of the ground. Just another score to keep an eye on in this around the grounds. Baronia Gold actually leading Warrandyte, who's undefeated coming into this game, 13-9, as we're back underway here. Picked up here by the Cougars. They're going to your left side of your screen in this quarter. Let's get another ball up back in the middle of the ground. 3-goal second term for the Tigers have put them well and truly in control of this game. Stolen away that time by the Cougars, but it's coming back. Pontefract towards centre half forward. Handball over the top. That time by Gale. Picked up this time now by Brooke Clare. Got off to Lake. Lake, who was involved quite a bit in that second quarter as the Cougars were under a lot of pressure down back. No ball won just yet. Graham underneath that one. Ball comes back out. Bouncing forward towards the centre of the ground here. And Coldstream might be their best chance going forward now. So they put this towards the top of the square. Can they get a mark or a goal out of this? Pushing past their opposition off the left boot towards goal. Bouncing across the line for a minor score.
Had a quick word.
Three behinds Coldstream, 3-2 Mitcham 20. 1.5 minutes gone in the third term, Kate.
I had a quick talk with Bob Fletta, Coldstream's coach. He said that first half, they really dropped the ball in regards to needing to maintain their possession. But he said the positive going forward and what they can focus on moving forward is their tackling, their aggression at the footy, and just maintaining that pressure. I did mention to him that they seemed to come out a bit flat at the start of for the second quarter, and he said he wasn't quite sure what happened. He said, as far as he was concerned, he did a great speech, so he's not sure what happened.
So ball comes back here for Coldstream. He'll send it back inside 50. They'll get a mark out of this one. It was well taken that time by Holly Duke. Been involved a bit in this third term. Puts it towards the hot spot here at Walker Park inside 50. Came off hands. The Tigers looking to repel out of their back half. And we'll get another stoppage ball.
Yes, inside the forward 50 for Coldstream. Mitcham looked to clear it out through Holloway. He's kicked 2 goals so far. Coldstream looked to repel and go back inside the 50 here. Shouts of ball, and it is hole in the ball, so it's Chappell who will kick inside the 45 here, and a mark is taken by Herman as she will line up for a chance to get the first goal for Coldstream this morning. Big moment here in this game. Can they get off to a great start in this third quarter here to the goal square here? Tackled. Opportunity for Coldstream. Here's a chance, and it's through. Coldstream get there first. They move to 1-3-9. Coldstream to Mitcham 3-2-20. 4 minutes into the third quarter. Great start for the Cougars, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Needed to get the first one of this third term if they're any chance of making the comeback. So back to 11 points now, just 2 kicks in it. They've got to continue this now. They've got to obviously make the most of this quarter and potentially the momentum as we're back in the middle again. 11-point lead to the Tigers. It was 18 points at half-time, so we're back in the middle now.
Gentlemen, that was Hamilton for Coldstream.
Thank you, Kate.
Another stoppage. 4.5 minutes into this third term. A tap down one by Lynette. Ball comes back out. Just gaining a little bit of territory here for the Tigers. Inside 50, a long kick towards the leading target, which is Gosling. Got her hands off in time. Aiken under a lot of pressure, wrapped up by Akers, who was able to hold her momentum and push her further and further outside her forward 50. Going up in the ruck that time, Pontract with the tap down. Lynette inside 50, a high kick towards the top of the square. No mark taken, but a dangerous position here for Lake, who tried to soccer it off the ground. Couldn't quite connect with the ball. No free kick or anything out of this. So we might just get a ball up deep inside the Tigers attacking half. Looking for their 4th of the day. Get the ball up. Won that time by the Tigers. At ground level, Sarong. Ball comes back out. Pressure's been good by Pontefract that time. And we get another stoppage right on the arc here with the forward 50 for Mitcham. Coldstream's defence once again back under a bit of pressure. Don't want to concede one after having a really good start to this third term. Such an important game for both sides. Try and escape their back half, but the Tigers here look to be off through Griffiths, but ball's going to be come back. It is a Mitcham free kick, but it almost probably halted their momentum there. A long way out from goal is Frost. Frost into the player on the mark, comes back out. They've got numbers though. Lynette back to Frost, and it's held up here. So in the end, Paul, probably the advantage would have been the better option for the Tigers. They didn't get that opportunity, but it's still in their forward half of the ground.
Both rucks go at it here. Mitcham will win the clearance through Linnett. And a mark is taken by Gosling. And this a great opportunity to get it back out to that 3-goal margin. Another under 18 player for Mitcham, Chloe Gosling, lining up. Opportunity here and just touched on the line by Coldstream there by Lake, and it is one behind. So it's an even 2-goal game, Ryan.
Yep. Yeah, 3-3 21 now. Mitcham 139 Coldstream. Wasn't a bad attempted goal. Certainly had the accuracy, just couldn't quite get the distance as Coldstream looked to get out of their back half now through Lake. They're often racing on the far side of the ground. The kick coming off their hands that time of Jess Curtis and across the line. We'll get a ball up there on the outer wing. Thanks for joining us today, of course, on EFNL YouTube. Big game between these two sides, 3rd versus 5th. The winner to go a game clear and really start to look towards September. Aiken's kick cut off by Lake once more. Long kick down the line. Tigers have got some numbers behind the ball. Who's going to get there first? Frosted there. So is Griffiths. They almost collided with one another as that ball crosses the line. And we'll get another ball up. About 60 out from the Coldstream goals. Let's get a ball up on that far side of the ground. Only goal in this 3rd term going the way of the Cougars. Back out now. Herman involved again. Holloway wrapped up in the tackle. Kicked the 2 goals to the Tigers in that 2nd term when they got on to a bit of a run. A free kick here going the way of Coldstream.
Holding on.
Yeah. Ryan, did Brad happen to mention that Sibel Aiken is also the current under-18s captain?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Been super impressive as the Tigers now off the back half.
Yeah.
In Griffiths. They move this along down the line very, very nicely. And there she is right on cue in Aiken. She can put this inside 50. It was almost a mark there to Lake. Couldn't quite take it. Now it gives a chance to Curry, who's at ground level, who picked it up and will get a ball up inside 50 for the Tigers. Looking to add their 4th of the day. The 2-goal lead at the moment. Holloway's kick was smothered. She ends up with the ball again. Got it to a teammate off the right boot towards goal. It's not quite going to get there. There's still a chance of Gosling. And it's tapped over the line. So a minor score for Mitcham. They move to 3-4-22. Coldstream 1-3-9. And we've played almost 10 minutes, Paul, into this 3rd term.
So, looks like there's a little stoppage here.
Look, here's probably a good chance here for Mitcham just to set up and defensively lock this ball inside their attacking half of the ground.
Trainer's been called to assess Coldstream player number 15, which is
Gossip.
Gossip. She really hasn't moved from that position.
Well, while we're held up here, we might just go through some scores around the grounds. Warrandyte hit the lead in the 3rd term over Baronia Gold. They lead very inaccurately, 1-9-15 to Baronia Gold, 2-1-13. Another big game to keep an eye on is the Norwood-Bayswater game. No score out of that one just yet, but of course, if Bayswater lose that, Norwood win. The ladder changes once again in Division 4. Division 5, the Basin Green off to a bit of a start to Wanturna South, 16-0, leading that one. Upper Ferntree Gully 21 to Heathmont Blue 7. That's a big result for Upper Ferntree Gully if they can hold on and win that game with the top 2 spot on the line. Some other games, of course, we'll try and keep you updated with the North Ringwood South Croydon score out of Premier Division. No update on that one just yet, but North Ringwood, if they can take the scalp, that will be very handy for their chances going into the last 3 rounds of the season. We're almost back up and running. It'll be Acres to take the kick in, Paul, for Coldstream.
So Acres, who's been one of Coldstream's best so far in this game, is just waiting for Gossip to come off the grounds. 13-point margin in favour of the Tigers. 11.5 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter.
They've certainly given them themselves a chance here in this 3rd quarter with obviously getting one on the board, but not conceding one in the opening few minutes.
Yes, if they can get the next one, it will certainly be game on. As numbers here for the Tigers, no one could take the mark. It'll be a ball up just outside the attacking 50 for Mitcham. Both teams go at it here. Mitcham have the numbers. They look to go forward here through Holloway, who's been great for Mitcham. And a great intercept mark taken there by Lake. Down the line here. Intercept mark there. Taken for Mitcham. Here's Sarong inside 50. And a great mark is taken. As she looks to get closer to goal. No mark was taken. Coldstream defence holding up. And it'll be a ball up in the attacking 50 of Mitcham. Both rucks go at it. Mitcham look to win the clearance, but Coldstream have the numbers back. Lake, she's got a couple touches in the last couple of minutes, hasn't she? As it goes out of play, it'll be a lasso and it'll be a free kick to Mitcham. As they look to go back inside 50. So, not sure what's going on
Just a bit
here.
of confusion out there at the moment. Might be a ball up on that far side.
Interesting. So, ball up here, just forward of centre for the Tigers. Coldstream look to go forward, but Mitcham have the numbers back. Mitcham win the clearance. They launch it back into the attacking 45. Mitcham, Coldstream clear it out, sorry, as here's Aiken again. Hasn't she been lively for Mitcham? Now it's Lake. Lake again, brilliant. As we'll get a stoppage here as the umpire calls for a ball up. 14 minutes gone in this third quarter. Both rucks go at it. Coldstream look to win the clearance. Good pressure here by Mitcham to lock it in. Numbers back here for the Tigers. Handball there. And we'll do it all again.
Paul, just an update on Coldstream player number 15, Kayla Gossip. She will not be returning to the game and will be referred to seek further medical attention.
Deakin got a handball forward. Still an opportunity here for the Tigers. Gaining a bit of territory. That defence of Coldstream under a lot of pressure. Holloway takes down Brooke Clare in the tackle and will get a ball up. Not far out from their goals. Currently leading 3-4-22 to 1-3-9. Free kick out of the ruck here going the way of... No, in fact, they're just balling it back up again. As this time won by Coldstream. Ball comes back out. Here's a shot for the Tigers through Sophie Craig towards the pocket. Unable to get to it first was Wallington, so out of bounds. Coldstream take possession of the football. An update out of Quamby Reserve in the Prem women's game. North Ringwood currently trailing 3-2-20 to 4-3-27 South Croydon. Be an upset if they get across the line and help their finals chances as the ball to be brought back into play here for Coldstream. Trying to escape their back half at the moment. Great mark in the pack of players there, and that was taken by Lucy Griffiths. Had about 4 or 5 players from both sides around it and was able to pull down the grab off the right boot, looking to hit up a target in the pocket. Came off hands. Again involved was Wallington. Was the intended target there, and we'll get a ball up inside 50. And been one of the most important players on the ground as Griffiths has certainly impressed us from up here up today. Ball up in the pocket. Tap down one by the Tigers. Akers involved. And again, we'll get another stoppage. Just held up here with 16 minutes gone in this third term. Can the Tigers get their 4th of the day and just about put this game away before the three-quarter time siren came off the boot that time of Gale. And once again, Paul, we'll get another stoppage right in the same position. Coldstream desperately holding on defensively.
Yes, as they look to hold Mitcham out. If they can get another one before three-quarter time, Coldstream will make for a very intriguing last quarter. Now as Mitcham look to go forward here, even if they can just stop Mitcham kicking another goal before three-quarter time, they'll be right. They're right in this contest. As Coldstream look to clear it out, luck of the Irish goes their way. As Coldstream look to go forward, now through the corridor. Now here go Coldstream. Here's Hamilton, who kicked the goal for Coldstream early on this quarter. As now it's Coldstream with the numbers, and it'll be a ball up right on the centre circle here at Walker Park. 17:45 gone in this third quarter. Mitcham looked to win the clearance. Good tackle there by Coldstream, and again, great tackling pressure. But here's a clearance won there by looked to be won by Aiken, but great tackle there by Herman. Players over it here, and it'll be a ball up.
It was an important one there from Ella Herman because you know how quick Aiken is, and if she had got away then, that's potentially she's putting that towards the top of the square.
As Mitcham look to go forward. Here's Aiken again. Inside 50, inside 45 here for Mitcham. As Coldstream look to clear it out. A big kick outside here, and an intercept mark is paid. And it's taken there by the number 24 in Paige Frost. Inside 45 here. Now an opportunity. Is it coming back? Hits the post by an inch. By a coat of paint. And it's one behind. And Mitcham moved to 3-5-23 to Coldstream 139. We're in the last minute of this third quarter. Very, very close to getting it back out to a 19-point lead, Ryan.
So Akers to take the kick in, and at this stage they just are desperate not to concede one. They've been fighting hard defensively for the last 10 minutes.
Free kick to Mitcham, too high.
Yeah, and they're going to have another chance through Griffiths, the Tigers, who's been everywhere herself. She'll put this towards a pack of play. The mark is taken, and they've got Jess Curtis, who can wheel around on the right towards goal. Can they get another mark out of this? And a set shot came off hands. An opportunity, handball over the top, out the back, almost putting one through. Holloway wrapped up in the tackle, and we're down to 10 seconds left. It's going to have to be borne up, and a quick goal out of this clearance. It's tapped down in the direction of Holloway, and again held up. They choose not to rush behind and instead clear it out just in time as the three-quarter time siren. So Coldstream hang on by an inch as we go to the final break here. It's Mitcham leading 3-5-23 to Coldstream 1-3-9. 14 points in it with 1 quarter to play in this big Division 3 clash. We're going to take our last break here and then jump into the final term. Welcome back to Walker Park, and we're ready to go for this final quarter. We're going to hear from the senior coach of the Coldstream senior women's side, who will be with Kate in just a moment. Just finishing up his last talks with the players. We've got Kate now down on ground level.
Bob, a very, very strong chat with the girls there. You mentioned quite a few things, and I'll go through them for you, and I'll ask you to comment on ones you'd like. You were really happy with the better ball movement and the quarter and the attacking overall. You mentioned, that the back five have been brilliant, and that you really appreciated the girls' work with getting that ball moving towards your own 50. Interesting comment, you still strongly feel that this is a doable quarter, like 2 to 3 goals is a doable quarter.
Yeah, no, definitely. We can definitely win this. If we can get a bit of control in the middle and get some clearances from the middle, we've got the forwards to kick those goals. We just need to get on top of get that on top of that contested ball in the middle of the ground. I think if we do that, we're a big chance. If we can then get the first one and then put some, and might sound a bit silly, but to put the scoreboard pressure on them, that we've closed the gap a little bit. I'm hoping that they might make a few mistakes and start to feel that pressure, and we might be able to sneak away with a win, which would be fantastic.
Either way, all the best for the rest of the game and the rest of the season, but you've definitely shown that you're not a team to be intimidated.
No, thank you very much. We pride ourselves on competing for 4 quarters, and that's what we're definitely going to do today.
Thanks very much, Bob.
Thank you.
Final quarter underway out here, and as said, Coldstream, if they can get the first one of this last quarter in the early stages, they can potentially just put a bit of pressure on Mitcham, who have a pretty handy lead at the moment, although they would love to get their first of the last quarter and officially put this game to bed.
It's a big first goal last quarter, isn't it,
Absolutely.
Ryan?
14 points separating the two sides at this stage.
I think Coldstream's confidence has come also from the fact that the girls realised in that third quarter huddle, we've got a blood rule coming off for Coldstream, but the girls actually said to the coach in that third quarter huddle, hey, we kept them scoreless. They kept Mitcham from scoring a major. So that was a really big positive, and they went, well, we're here with the chance, we're going to take it.
They certainly will need to get the first one on the board today in this final quarter, as we're almost ready to go again. We're currently sitting about 60 metres out from the Coldstream goals, so it is in the right area of the ground that they want it to be in, which is a good thing for them as play resumes now. The tap down one by Hannah Lynette. Ball comes out into play. Bit of a scrap for this one. Mitcham first to the footy through Holloway. And the umpire says, give it to me. We'll get another ball up as we continue along here. Chappell in the ruck, going up against the net. Ball comes back down. Handball forward there from the Tigers through Craig. And we're going to get another stoppage. Graham with the pressure that time. And her tackle. Lynette again through the ruck, who's been very good herself and does it all. Got the clearance forward. Aiken's there, who keeps it in front of herself. If she can pick it up cleanly, she might be out. Cop one high. And immediately wants to play on and take advantage of it. Inside forward 50 towards the top of the square. Tapped away from Coldstream. Ball comes back out. East Ham potentially cop one high herself. And umpire almost there called play on. And it probably was in the end. Did signal it, but East Ham will clear this one out now for Coldstream. All Tiger numbers around this ball. Griffiths couldn't quite take the mark though, and it's held up here. And well done there by Ava Graham against two very strong Mitcham opponents, just to hold things up here, centre wing. We'll get a ball up again, almost 3 minutes played in this final quarter. Mitcham still leading by 14 points as the ball crosses the line. And we'll get a ball up, Paul, right in front of us, broadcast side.
Right in front of us and right in front of Kate as well. Here at Walker Park. Coldstream win the clearance and a big sprint there as Coldstream look to go forward. Here's Hamilton. Mitcham with the numbers back, bounces past here. Coldstream getting numbers forward to the ball. Good tackle there. Still alive here. Umpire says my footy. So both rucks go at it here. Clearance won by Mitcham. Now running toward it is Herman, who's been one of Coldstream's best in this game. Tackle there. Going to be another ball up. Coldstream look to go 40, but Mitcham have the numbers. They'll win the clearance. And a mark, and a great mark there. Umpire says play on though. And it's an intercept mark there, taken by Curtis for the Tigers.
Mitcham player 24, Frost, has come off with blood rule.
So Mitcham here, they look to run forward here. Side 50, Ips punched away by Lake. Looks to soccer off the ground. It's going to be another ball up as we're 4:40 into this last quarter. No change from the 3/4 time score as of yet. Punched away here. Mitcham will win the clearance. Dogs are getting involved here at Walker Park as we'll get a ball up.
So right on the forward 50 arc here for the Tigers, currently leading 3-5-23 to 1-3-9, 5 minutes gone final term. And even the 5 minutes without a score is certainly going to favour Mitcham with that 14-point lead as the ball gets closer to the boundary line. Picked up here by the Cougars, doing very well was Ella Herman. Puts it on the boot forward, came off hands. Might have been out of bounds on the full before that or just hit hands. So we'll get a ball up right in front of the Mitcham coaching box out here at Walker Park. Big day out here at Walker Park at Park Orchards. Yeah. The senior men's later today. An important game in the Division 1 senior men's competition. This, of course, is a very important one for Mitcham and Coldstream today as the Tigers are very close to locking up a top 4 spot. Assuming they win today, and they've got some winnable games in the run home. Coldstream's run home a little bit tougher. They still have both South Croydon and North Ringwood to finish the season on, so this really is a must-win for them. Tap down was won by Chapel. And again, we're going to get another ball up, about 60 out from Coldstream's goals now. As said, just have to get a goal and have to get it very quickly if there are any chance from here. Chapel won the tap down, but it was the Tigers who got the clearance. Aiken got a fist to it in front of Lake. Ball comes back out. Giacomo there for Coldstream. Mitcham have held this up. Lake involved again. Had O'Dwyer to compete with that time. And on ground level, Aiken wrapped up, and we get another ball up. This time at Mitcham's end of the ground. Tap down was won by the Tigers. And again, ball going nowhere. Approaching the 7th minute mark of this final term. Out of the middle, and the Tigers get something out of this. No, there's another stoppage, Paul, as they'll be happy just to see the minutes tick by.
Yes. Time is of the essence for Mitcham at the moment. They lead by 14 points. Coldstream look to win the clearance, but Mitcham have the numbers. And inside 50 it goes. Numbers in favour of the Tigers. Here's an opportunity. Good tackle late there. Socket off the ground. Just across the face. And it's one behind, so it's out to 15 points. 7:40 gone in this last quarter here as Acres will take the kick out here for Coldstream. Very familiar with Walker Park. Of course, she used to play for Mitcham. Here's a kick out here as numbers for Mitcham. Just went away from her here as Mitcham looked to win it back. And there'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground.
Number 6, Graham for Coldstream has been very hands-on this quarter since she came on.
She certainly has, as we'll do it all again in front of a good crowd in for this one here at Walker Park. Big day for the Tigers, of course. Of course, a big game for Coldstream as well, as both sides fighting to get into the top 4. Clearance won by Mitcham. As a ball up here. Just not far from the Mitcham forward 45, as here's Holloway. Now it looks to go inside 50, or inside 45. Now Aiken. Aiken kicks it inside 50. And a good intercept mark there taken for Coldstream. As the mark is taken there, and it's taken by Griffiths.
That's got to be one of the best marks we've seen this game.
Certainly is. As she goes inside 50 mark, there was nearly taken. Umpire lets it go.
Probably unlucky there, Holloway.
Yeah. As Coldstream look to go forward. Caldwell's chasing it. And now it's Duke. Went away now.
I feel if Coldstream can just get one goal on the board for this quarter, even though that may possibly mean a loss for them, if they can get another goal and moving forward into the final games of this normal season, it'll do a lot for their confidence.
Certainly will, as Mitcham look to go forward. Tackled there by Kakamo. And will be a stoppage just away from the arc, outside of Mitcham's forward 45, Ryan.
Yes, 10 minutes gone in this fourth term. No score in this final quarter for either side as the ball comes back out now. And the game might just open up for Coldstream. They've got a loose down forward. And that was Bartlett who hands it off. Running forward now, Ella Herman towards goal. How's the bounce? In fact, it's well to the left and it's out of bounds on the full. So no score out of that one. That was probably their best opportunity of the quarter. And the first time they had a bit of space that time.
Ryan, do you think perhaps if Herman would have maybe done a bounce and just run a few more metres, then perhaps it might have been a different story?
Probably had a bit more time than maybe she first thought. He's a known goal kicker for the Cougars. So unfortunately for them, that was probably their best chance of the quarter. And now the Tigers out of defence, who are well and truly in control, a 15-point lead at the moment. The kick was smothered. 60 out from the Cougars goals. And we are ticking into the last 8 minutes of this final quarter out here at Walker Park. Thanks for joining us today on EFNL YouTube. Of course, with Mitcham's win, they will move a game clear of Ferntree Gully and Coldstream. And depending on the Churnside Park result, might even stay 2 games ahead of them as the ball comes back out through Aiken now in the middle. Takes the bounce, got time, off the left boot. Akers did well in front position and applies the pressure with the tackle. Was it?
Probably unlucky not to be holding the ball there.
Well, I think Mitcham, in fact, they have got the free kick out of there. I think Mitcham probably thought it might even be a holding free kick going their way as the Tigers take possession of the football here on the wing, playing back in the hands of Akers, though. Takes the intercept mark and now uses the corridor. Got plenty of numbers out there. And they do this well through Duke. Got the hands off inside 50. Off the boot that time of Bartlett. Out of defence, follows it up and soccers it forward herself. Off to a teammate there in Bailey Eastham, who puts this one towards goal. Not going to register a score as it rolls out of bounds, and Mitcham take possession in the back pocket with almost 13 minutes played in this final quarter, leading 3-6-24 to 1-3-9, Paul. There's
a lot of positives that Coldstream can be happy about for this final quarter.
So Mitcham look to clear it out. Of course, they've kept Mitcham goalless for this second half currently, as Coldstream look to go forward. They want to get their goal back here. 13 and 15 gone in this last quarter. Now as Mitcham will win the clearance. Mitcham look to go forward here. Tackled there, and it'll be a ball up. Both rucks go at it. 3-6-24 to 1-3-9 in favour of Mitcham. And we'll do it all again. Nearly 14 minutes gone. Mitcham happy, more than happy just to chew up some time. It's here, that's one by Coldstream, but Mitcham will win the clearance here. Good tackle by Coldstream as Coldstream look to go forward. A great mark taken there by Gosling.
Senior boys are happy for Mitcham.
Yes.
Well, they're referring to a bit of push and shove in the middle.
So Coldstream here, getting numbers to it. And there'll be a ball up. So 14:40 gone in this last quarter. And there'll be another stoppage.
So ball up back in the middle here. 3-6-24 plays 1-3-9. Last 5 minutes of this game. Aiken gained some space and threw it on the boot. It's a one-on-one. Out the back, almost getting your hands to it was Chappell. Fell now forward here for Wellington, who puts it up towards a teammate there, but it's picked off by the Cougars. Chappell involved again. And we'll get another stoppage inside the forward half here for the Tigers, and they're happy just to see this last 5 minutes out with a strong performance as we get another ball up inside their attacking half the ground. They've looked good today, particularly in that second quarter, and it's a sign of what they can do when they're raring to go. Aiken off the left boot towards goal. How's the bounce? Doesn't really work for either her teammate in O'Dwyer. And we'll get a Coldstream kick in the back pocket. Looking to clear this one out. Chappell underneath this one out the back. Almost a mark taken by Aiken. And still inside their forward 50 here, Paul. So I've still got an opportunity to get one back. 4 minutes left to play in this final term. And again, another stoppage.
So just inside the forward 50 here for the Tigers. Coldstream will win the clearance here. A big kick out of their defensive 45. It's bouncing. It'll be a lasso. It'll be a Mitcham ball. And it'll be taken there by Curtis. High up in the air. Numbers for both sides here. Holloway. It's tackled. There'll be a ball up. Both rucks going at it here. Tap one there by Lagaway Allen. Coldstream will win the clearance here. It's a mark not paid. And now Aiken again. Look at Aiken. Handball's away there. Umpire lets it go. Coldstream have the numbers back.
Aiken has really stamped her name on this game.
She certainly has, as Mitcham will go inside 45 again. And a great intercept mark there taken.
By Herman.
It's certainly been one of Coldstream's best today. Here is Coldstream certainly haven't lost any admirers, Ryan.
No, they've been a much more competitive team today than the last time they played Mitcham, where they were unable to score. Really was that second quarter for the Tigers. And there is Aiken, gets past a couple of tacklers off the left boot towards goal. It'll be either an out of bounds or it'll be a Coldstream ball, and
They've also,
out of bounds, so Coldstream will take possession.
Ryan, they've also kept Mitcham fairly low scoring as compared to the other previous interaction that they've had.
Well, probably similar. I think they put on the 31 points last time as an intercept mark here by the Tigers. And forward they go through Meg Sarong. And a great intercept mark that time from
Tejera.
Coldstream. And Just a minute and a half to play now in this final quarter. Is there one more goal left to play? Aiken went without it. And we'll get another stoppage right on that, just inside the forward 50 arc here for Mitcham.
Gentlemen, I'll be grabbing Aiken at the end of the game.
So tap down one by the Tigers. The Cougars with the clearance. And they make their way forward. Inside 50. Picked up by Mitcham and wrapped up in the tackle.
And also, it's certainly been a great last call by Mitcham. Getting first of all and getting last stoppages here as they hold on to a 15-point lead. Good tackle there as both sides going at it, and it'll be a ball up. So 30 seconds left in this one. Coldstream will win the clearance inside 50. Can they get one more before the game's out here? Mitcham with numbers to the footy, and it will be a ball up as the time ticks down here. We've got 10 seconds left. Coldstream with the clearance, high up in the air. Numbers here for Mitcham. And there's your siren. Mitcham with a great second quarter, set up the victory. Of course, it was a great contest between these two sides. Mitcham with a 15-point win. Mitcham 3-6-24 to Coldstream 1-3-9.
Yeah, big win for the Tigers in the context of the season. Very important for their finals chances. It now moves them a game clear of both Coldstream and Ferntree Gully, who lost earlier today. We'll wait and see on that Churnside Park result, but either way, they're now a game clear with percentage inside the top four. So to actually miss the final series from here, they'd probably have to lose all three of their final games, which they won't do. They're a very good side. So expect to see, there's still a bit of work to do, but expect to see the Tigers in September, so, which is fantastic for them. They've responded really well this year, and I think they'll look back at that second quarter, and that is the type of footy they'll want to play come finals time, because, and I'm assuming, not being here against South Croydon early in the year, I'm assuming that was probably a bit of what we saw when they get going. And they've got a lot of players who are very quick. They move the ball quite well. And potentially you might throw in, you know, if you get Jess Grace available come finals time, you might be able to throw her in as well. And Kate Green's on the boundary with, I believe she's got Aiken down there. Take it away, Kate.
Sibyl, Aiken, what a fantastic game you've had. I know that you're currently captain of your under-18s and you're still playing under-18s. How many games have you played for the senior girls this year so far?
I think I've played around 6 games for them. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So with that experience you've got, how have you felt about today's game and the team's performance as we go into the last 3 rounds of the season?
I think that we did an awesome job today, and I think we have a pretty good chance in making the grand final this year.
You're an absolute little pocket rocket out there. Every time we went to mention someone, your name kept popping up over and over and over. How have you felt with settling in with playing with the senior women's?
I think I love it a lot. Like, it's a great opportunity, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Go Tigers!
Congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you.
Very good. One of the best performers today, and certainly impressed everyone, I think, with her run, her speed, and just her involvement in every single contest. She was one of the most important players on the ground, and looking forward to seeing how her career continues this season, but going forward as well. She's going to be one of the stars to watch. We're going to start to close things out here from Walker Park. I'll start with Kate. Big thank you to you today. A big game, a big win for the Tigers. Important one for them. They're one step closer to finals.
This I think this division we've discussed, and you guys have discussed it on Female Footy Focus, is the division that has turned out to be the tightest for those last positions going into finals. I'd be really interested to see the result for the South Croydon game, but I really enjoyed this game. Commiserations to Coldstream, but they can hold their head high. They did an outstanding job. Yes, they had that wobble in that second quarter, but if they can address that moving forward for the rest of the season and then going into season 2027, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Thanks, Kate, and a big thanks to you, Paul, for today. A big win for the Tigers, and looking forward to seeing how the final 3 rounds of the season will play out in this division.
Yeah, will certainly be an interesting watch. But no, it was a pleasure to call out here today, Ryan.
Absolutely. The final result, Mitcham walking away 15-point winners out here at Walker Park. The Tigers to almost just about lock up a final spot. We'll see you next time.